Hey everyone, I'm Bill. That's Bogna. We're with Cali Moto TV. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Turtle Walk, and welcome the all-new 2022 BMW S1000 Single R, and of course the 2021 Ducati Panigale V2. We're out here on a nice little Friday ride. Let's see. All these cars are going straight, and I don't know why they're going straight, because all the fun is to the right. For them, for us, it's straight. But we're out here on the all-new S1000 Single R, and well, we're going to go over so far. We've clocked just about 200 miles on the bike, and we're going to talk about kind of the first impressions, the loves, the hates, the things that I found out that I like about the bike, and a few things that I found out that I don't like about the bike. So we should be, I'm starting to get a little comfortable on the bike. Now, we do have the rev limiter of 9,000 RPM, so that limits me. Bogdan always jokes, she's like, I like when you have the rev limiter on the bikes because she can keep up with me. Yeah, so far so good. I'm enjoying it. So we've got a few miles on it, but I think we should be able to get you a nice little ride up through Rutherford into the Napa Valley. But you ready to roll? She's ready. I'm ready. So I will tell you where we're at right now as far as settings as we take off, and what so far we've determined we've liked on the bike, and a few things that we don't like about the bike. But I don't think there's nothing really major that I would say so far that I hate about the bike. But time will tell when we can get the rev limiter taken off here and see what we can actually do with this bike. So we are in Dynamic Pro mode. So this bike has 4 different modes: Rain, Sport, Dynamic, and Dynamic Pro. It has only 2 suspension modes, Road and Dynamic, with 2 height adjustments for a single rider and double rider, which of course, if you guys are familiar with this DDC, it is, well, all right, so let's start with the first start of a little bit of a hate. We have not had Dave Moss out here to look at this bike, but on BMW's website, it says that the compression, rebound, and dampening is adjustable on the 2022 BMW S1000 Single R on the BMW USA website. Now, the problem is that would put us into the back menus and changing that suspension settings in the back menu. Well, there is no suspension back menu on this bike. It is all fixed, as I can tell. I think that there's, I believe it's preload height adjustment on the rear shock, but outside that, there aren't any compression and dampening rebounds that I personally can see. Again, Dave Moss hasn't been out, but I know that on Bogna's 2018, this leg had some compression and rebound, but I don't know that that's adjustable. So we'll have to see. But we've thrown a zip tie around there, and we're going to see how we do with the suspension. So I'll say that the suspension, although we're in just straight dynamic, pretty much off the showroom floor with the single rider, it's not horrible. I do think that I will get a steering damper for it, because the steering front end is a little loose for me, and BMW did not give us an adjustable front steering damper. So we'll probably get a Öhlins damper, or there's another company. I just ordered one for the S1000 XR, and I forget what it's called. I'm not even gonna try. So we will probably do that. But as far as, like I said, the actual suspension feeling, it actually, I don't really mind it. And I'll say, you know, coming off of the XR, I didn't really pay attention to any of the suspension settings because the XR just really handles in the BMW mode. So anyways, we'll talk more about the suspension later, because right now we're kind of, I'm not too 100% sure about it. I want Dave Moss to check it out and see what we can do about it. So suspension, it's a maybe. It's a maybe. Now, everyone has had their comment about the brake master on this thing, and boy, has it really sparked up some controversy. They put this all-in-one Nissan Master in the front, and a lot of people have really been unhappy with that in the comment section. Now, I would encourage you guys to ride this bike at some speeds, because I watched a bunch of reviews on this bike, and not one of the people complained about the Nissan Master. And I will tell you, I am not going to complain at all. I actually like the Master. And I'll tell you that this Master feels better than Wagner's V2 Brembo Master, which, by the way, she's got a new RCS 17 in the box, in the garage, ready to be installed. So stand by for that install video. But the brakes on this is actually relatively good. I actually am really enjoying the brakes. Of course, they've got the linked braking system, which I've always absolutely loved with BMW. So I've never had one complaint about the brake systems on the BMW. And I really haven't had to do much to my past BMWs for braking. I think my 15 S1000, I think I've had some race pads put on there, and I think I did some new rotors after 10,000 miles or something like that, which are pretty common on these bikes. But outside that, you know, I've never messed with the Master. I've never messed with ABS system. It just works, and it works well, so I enjoy it. All right, let's talk about some hates. I'm not sure why they didn't fix the issue with the XR and the vibration in the bars. The vibration around that 6,000 RPM cruising altitude is very present in the vibration of the bars, especially at the bar ends. At 6,000 RPMs, when this thing is really vibrating, you almost can't touch the bar ends. It's like numbing to touch. To the touch, it's numbing. So we'll see what we can do to get that eliminated. There is a little bit of vibration in the rear sets and the foot pegs, but not major. The major complaint is in right about there, 65 to 7,000 RPMs in the bars. So that is a minor complaint, but you know, look, we're looking for loves and hates. A lot of people commented about the mirrors. Mirrors aren't bad, you know. They've been functional for BMW for years. They are more functional than the Street Fighter, so I will give the mirrors a plus. I'm not sure if I'll do bar and mirrors on this thing or not, but we'll see, because I don't mind these mirrors. The Tft Display, obviously, I told you guys, I really love BMW's Tft Display. They've really kind of stepped it up, and one of the things that I like about the BMW controllability and just the bars and everything is just so user-friendly. Everything is clearly marked. Everything is easy to understand. You can almost get on this bike with zero experience and figure out how to get through the menus and the controls on the bars. They've made a lot of the bars, the buttons on the bars, very useful. So, you know, over to the right on the throttle, you've got your mode button, you've got your start and stops, and you've got your heated hand grips. Over on the left, We actually have a suspension button, which they didn't give us on the S1000RR, at least on the one that I had. I don't know if they've changed that, but it was very nice to be able to have that button to be able to go from the road mode to the dynamic mode. So that's very, very nice. So yeah, the controls and the buttons and the menu and the display, very, very, very nice. Definitely one of the best in class as far as the usability and the understanding of the ride of the bike. Now, the comfort of the bike, gotta shift. The comfort of the bike, I am medium about the seat. When I first got on it, I was like, man, that seat's really, really hard. But I don't feel like it's really, really hard right now. So I don't know how I feel about the seat. But the riding position, I actually really enjoy the riding position over the Ducati and over the Tuono, because those are more, they're definitely more, let me get here to a little straightaway so I can take my hands off the bars safely. The Street Fighter and everything, they're kind of, the bars are a little bit back more, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but this just feels like it's ready for the track. It feels more like a sport naked. So, and then a lot of the, let's talk about the power, let's talk about the motor. Everyone is very disappointed. I am disappointed also in the power of this. I wish that BMW would have cranked up the power, but don't worry, we have you handled. We've already been in contact with Brentoon. As soon as we get our first 600 miles on here and the service done, we will be working with Brentoon on getting this thing tuned, open back up, so we'll get you guys some dyno videos. But yeah, I really wish that BMW would have turned this up a little bit more, because I don't put this in the same category personally as the Street Fighter and as the Tuono, where those are more like hyper nakeds. I feel like these are definitely more, this is a sport naked, you know, because it's definitely, it's not as wild, it's more mild than those two bikes. But we will get this thing turned up, we'll get this thing a little bit more wild. But oh, also one of the things that I noticed about the taillights, they are different in the US over Europe, which is interesting, because in Europe they complained about the brake light in the blinker, that the yellow in the blinker you can't see when the brake light's on. Well, the US DOT has changed this, so it actually only blinks in red, and when I apply the brake, it actually does not illuminate this. So you've got a full brake light over there, and this continues to flash. So your question is probably going to be, well, what happens when you turn on the flashers? When you turn on the flashers, both of them flash. Here's where this is where BMW screwed up. When you push on the brakes, there's no brake lights. How did that pass DOT? They're in yeah, exactly. There's no brake lights when the emergency flashers are on. So no emergency flashers? This has it. Oh, the R6. But cruise control works really well. Obviously, it's just been, you know, so yeah. S1000 single R, very nice. I'm liking it. I can't wait to get the break-in miles off this thing and really get this thing dialed up, because I think that's when this thing is going to start to shine just a little bit more. But it is definitely a different bike from the old S1000R. This definitely rides more like a sport bike, now than the old one, where the old one was just kind of a, it was kind of like this. It was just a real easy bike. It's just a nice, easy bike to ride. So stay tuned, because we've got this thing getting ready to ramp up and get some parts for this thing. So stay tuned. Make sure you do the normal, hit the subscribe button, smash the like button. Like button's more important than you guys know. Ring the bell notification. Bell notification is going to give you notifications of future content, because we've got Brake Master that was supposed to go on that. Sorry, babe. We'll get that on there. Exhaust. Something about a up map came the other day. What's an up map? For that. Some stuff is actually, I got a box from V4 Evo being delivered today for the Street Fighter. So we haven't worked on that in a little while, so stay tuned for that. Exhaust for the XR shipped today from Motivation. We're waiting for the exhaust to ship from Motivation here. We're getting ready to order the exhaust from Motivation from here. So if you guys are interested in parts from Motivation, there's a link down below. Support the people that support us. We appreciate it. Thank you, Motivation. But we'll see you next video. We got to go get some lunch. So bye, guys.